Have you ever watched a coworker or a friend on Xcode just flawlessly navigating through the UI, opening up files, doing things that you have to spend 10 minutes with a mouse to try to figure out? Well, today I'm going to show you all those shortcuts, so stay tuned. The first shortcut I'd like to share is the open quickly. Let's say I'm in this file, I'm in Search Helper, and it's like, darn it, I need to jump to another file. I need to jump to a converter unit file or something like that. So I'm going to open here and I can start typing in whatever I want, say conversion. And I go, oh yeah, it's the conversion unit. That's what I need to look at. Great, great. So, remind me of what I'm trying to do here. And but the cool thing is that this doesn't just do files. It'll find functions. It'll find protocols and enums. Anything you have in your project, it'll jump to. So if I wanted to do, say, solve equation. So there's a solve equation view, but look, there's a function here, a method that's going to jump to. And it found it and opened up right there in the file. So I use this all the time. Command-Shift-0 or Command-Shift-O, best shortcut. The next thing I want to talk about is the Navigator. The Navigator is this little bar here on the left. And you can come up here and tab it open and close. But each one of these tabs in here has a different set of values that you can navigate. So like you have your project navigator, you have your source control navigator, your bookmarks, your find, your issues, your tests, your debugger, your breakpoints, and your reports. Now, if you look at this, this is in slot 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 of them. And if you hit Command and then that number that you want to go to, it'll just open it up right there. So if I hit Command 1, it goes to the project navigator. And if I hit Command 4, we're on the find navigator. And the cool thing is, and this is new in Xcode 26, that if you hit it again, so I'm on find, if I toggle it again with Command 4, it'll hide the navigator altogether. And this is just a new and neat way to hide and show that, particularly when you're working, say, on your laptop. You don't have a lot of screen real estate. You can quickly open and close that, find what you want, do what you want with it, and move on. All right, now that we've covered the left side, let's move over to the right with the inspectors. So you can do it manually with your mouse over here like a chump, but you don't have to. Just like on the right side, those are Command 1, 2, and 3. And all the way through 9. This one, there are 3 of them. You have your file inspector, your history inspector, and your documentation quick help or documentation inspector. And this one you're going to do with option command 1, 2, and 3. So here we go, 2, 3, 1. And just like on the left side, if it's open and you're on that inspector, you can close it by doing it again. So there's command 1, or it's not command, excuse me, option command 1, and it opens and closes. So it's pretty cool. All right, next I want to talk about getting more files open on the screen. Sometimes it's nice to have multiple files open at the same time. Say you have your test suite and the class that you're working on. You want to work on those side by side because it's nice to iterate back and forth between them. And for that, you've got this nice little plus bar here. This is new in Xcode 26. And if you click on it, you have the option to open a new tab. An editor pane on the right or below. Now, before you could do this, you'd have to do like option click and stuff like that, and that's how you'd get it down. So I like this. This is an improvement to me. And so let's talk first. First one is Command T, open a new tab. So we're going to do Command T and new tab. Now in 26, this is new. It used to open just with the duplicate. It would have opened with solve equation view on this one, but now I could say, hey, solve equation, controller. View controller. So I could do that and I can navigate between these 2 windows. Now let's say I didn't want to be working in tabs. I personally don't really like to work in tabs. I prefer to have one pane here and another editor pane to the other side. And so to do that, we can do Command Control T, and that'll give us side-by-side editors. And I'm going to close that window. That is another shortcut I'll show you in a minute. So that is how you can do that. And if you just keep doing that, you can open up quite a few side by side. And it's pretty cool. But sometimes you want to open up with one below it. Sometimes it's nice to have multiple. So that is Command Option Control T. And that'll open up one below it. And it always just opens up whatever file you were on. But you could option, you could do this and navigate to another, say the unit conversion view. Perhaps I want to do that. And there we go. So I have one here, one here, one here. And that is how you open up extra panes. All right, let's say you've got these two editor panes open and you want to jump back and forth. And it's good that we've got them open and we can see them and we know how to do that. But it's still tedious to have to click from one to the other. You don't want to take your hand off the keyboard. So to do that, naturally, you use the control backtick. So let's say I've got this import book test. Hey, look, I'm working on this test and I'm working on the import book function. So instead of clicking back and forth, I can say, okay, well, actually, I want to make this, context save optional. Now I want to edit the test to make sure that it is asserting that, the book count is now 16 or 145 or whatever. And I don't have to click back and forth. I can just control back tick and jump from one to the other and continue my work. All right, this one is one of my absolute favorites. This here is called the Document Items menu. And you can see all the things that exist here in this document. I've got this struct here, this enum, these extensions, another enum, a protocol. Here's a struct, here's an extension to user defaults, and there's just all this stuff. And sometimes it's nice to be able to quickly find what you need. For instance, let's say user defaults. I want to jump to this user default struct. For that, you can hit Control-6 and open this up and type in user defaults. And now I've got the protocol, I've got the struct, and it just quickly filters that down. And I want to go to this struct and jump straight down to it, all without leaving my keyboard. So if I wanted to go somewhere else, let's go back up and I wanted to go to calculate. Okay, here's my calculator mode. I want to go to this enum. Okay. And now I can start navigating through here and edit and do what I need to do, all without leaving the keyboard. It's fantastic. All right. My final tip is navigating forward and back through our files and through the things that we've done. So let's say we're here in our user defaults extension and I go over to my calculator view controller and I want to just jump back. I was here, but I want to go back to where I was, kind of like in a web page. When you're web browsing, if you use command open bracket or open square bracket, it'll jump you back. If you use command square bracket, the close one, it'll move you forward. You can do the similar thing with in Xcode, but instead it is control command forward and back arrows. So forward command back moves you back, command control forward moves you back in the forward direction. That's the default key binding. I personally don't like that. And so you can go in and edit your key bindings. And I've done it so that I have it for using the square brace and the open and closing square braces because that felt more natural. It felt more like what it is in every other application. The reason they don't have the forward and back braces is that they've used that for tabbing. So you might want to redo that and switch it all around. It's up to your preferences. And I'll show you how to do that. All right, let's talk about editing our key bindings. So to do that, you got to go here into Xcode and go to your settings or command comma. So command comma brings up our settings. Now this is a new layout in Xcode 16, or Xcode 26. So if you are using Xcode 16 or an earlier Xcode, it's going to look different. It's going to be a tab across the top. And so what you want to do is go here to your shortcuts, and that brings up this window. And you can see all of the different shortcuts here. You can go to your menu shortcuts. You can do just your text ones. And you can edit. So here I want to filter. I'm going to say my navigation. And I want to navigation forward. So here, Command Shift arrow forward, Command Shift arrow back. So I want to redo that. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to hit Command Control And, oh, not that one. I want to do that one. I'm going to do Command Control that. So now, oh, you just have to click out. Don't hit enter. So that is now my thing. So now I'm going to go here. See, now this is telling me I have a conflict. So I've created a conflict. Something else is bound to that. So if you go into your conflicts, clicking this tab, I can see that it's telling me that that is bound to selecting the next scheme. Now, I never do that. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to clear that. And that will remove the conflict. So now, you know what? I want to close the destinations. There's a conflict there for go forward and using tab. I want to click this and I want to clear that as well. That clears up all those conflicts. So now let's go back and do the same thing for back. So I'm going to go back, navigate back. So there we go. It is Control Command back arrow, but I don't want that. So I'm going to double click. I'm going to hit Control Command and the opening brace and click away. And now it's telling me, hey, you've got conflicts there. So I want to go again. It's going to be the same thing with the scheme. Well, I don't care about that. So I'm going to double click that, remove it, take that away. Here, that one as well, remove that. And the cool thing is that if you go back to search, so one way of searching for it is that you can write in the command. So I can say command space control and then do my opening bracket. It's going to take these. I didn't have to create this one. This one was created for me as because it's like, okay, we're going to take this guy and we're going to add the option to use going back using tab. So that's a cool feature that happens when you choose to remap things, is that it kind of trickles down to other commands as well. And this is a cool feature for how to search for commands if all you know is like, oh, I know the key binding, but I don't remember what that's called or what that goes to. So that's how you do that, and it's pretty cool. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you find these shortcuts useful as I do. I use them every day, and they speed up my workflow, and they make me feel like I'm flying through my code. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and like and subscribe this video if you found it useful.